Hong Kong airline Cathay Pacific is in hot water after a mainland Chinese passenger's evidence of discrimination went viral. And it reminded me of a very similar experience I had a few years ago, which I'll share with you guys today. This is Reports on China. I'm Andy Borham in Shanghai. Let's get reporting. Cathay Pacific, Hong Kong's main international airline, has issued an apology after a mainland Chinese passenger posted evidence of discrimination on social media. The passenger, who is fluent in Cantonese, English and Mandarin Chinese, was flying from Chengdu to Hong Kong, where they've lived for the past 11 years, when they experienced the hideous attitudes of the flight crew firsthand. They said, "The flight was almost full and my seat was right at the back of the plane where flight attendants prepare meals and rest. I didn't expect it to be a front row ticket to the ugliness of human nature." The passenger says they were privy to blatant discrimination shared through conversations the flight crew were having that made fun of passengers who can't understand Cantonese, one of Hong Kong's primary languages, and English. Recordings were made which the passenger said they will supply to Cathay Pacific as evidence. One was posted online. Let's take a listen. Now that might sound innocent to some, but in context it shows a hideous attitude towards mainland Chinese, in my opinion. And it's an issue that's been going on with Hong Kong Airlines for some time. I have my own experience to share, believe it or not, where a Hong Kong flight attendant was extremely rude to me after I dared to speak with her in Mandarin Chinese. It was on Dragon Air, formerly under Cathay Pacific, between Shanghai and Hong Kong at the height of the Hong Kong riots. We had just taken off and flight attendants were coming from behind, offering a drinks service before lunch. I could hear them approaching, as you do, especially when you're pretty hungry. Now, since it was a Shanghai to Hong Kong flight, most of the passengers were mainland Chinese, and so the flight attendants were speaking with them in Mandarin Chinese. 你要喝什么吗？有什么？什么都有，可乐、水、橙汁什么的。No problems whatsoever. Then when the flight attendant got to me, someone who's lived in China for nearly 10 years, I automatically spoke in Mandarin. 领度可乐加冰块，谢谢. Then she just stopped still and snapped at me. I'm from Hong Kong. I don't speak Mandarin. Now, to be honest, I was really quite shocked. And then the shock gave way to anger because this, don't forget, was right in the midst of those hideous riots when many Mandarin speakers in Hong Kong were frightened to even speak their own language on the street. So I snapped back. 你不是刚刚跟哪一些人讲普通话吗？别那么粗鲁好吗? And then she replied, yeah, but I'm from Hong Kong. I don't speak Mandarin. Honestly, I was just flabbergasted. I really wanted to say something else, but I kept my composure and didn't budge. 领度可乐，谢谢. Then she slammed a plastic cup down, poured out some Coke Zero, and then slammed it on my table. 加冰块，谢谢. I was so angry after that I literally refused to speak English at all during my whole visit in Hong Kong. And I did contemplate making a complaint, but I didn't in the end. Now, when this story came out yesterday, it reminded me directly of that hideous encounter. Now, the passenger who shared his experience online says the flight attendants on Cathay Flight 987 weren't just making fun of those who can't speak English, but also those who can't speak Cantonese, a regional dialect. They said at one point an old man stood up when the seatbelt sign was still on, and a flight attendant told him in Cantonese to sit down. When he didn't, they sneered. They don't understand human language. Wow. This is obviously extremely unacceptable behaviour, and as a passenger pointed out, it needs to be rectified by Cathay Pacific ASAP. They noted, I really don't understand why there's so much malice towards passengers who don't speak English or Cantonese. I'm not asking for overly enthusiastic service. I just want to know why passengers can't be afforded basic respect. Cathay Pacific responded yesterday saying, we are aware of the unfortunate experience of the passengers on Cathay Pacific flight CX987 and apologise. Cathay Pacific has always committed to providing high quality service to passengers and attaches great importance to this incident. We've contacted the relevant passengers for further information and will conduct a serious investigation. Here we would like to express our deepest apologies for the distress caused by this incident. So I look forward to seeing how Cathay Pacific deal with that heinous crew. But clearly the problem runs much deeper than just the crew on CX-987. What do you guys think? I'd love to know your thoughts. Do let me know down below. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time.